Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. I would have agreed with you, Chuck, about him if it was just the other bets. He bet on his sport and his team. Please name one player that was back in his sport, let alone back in the next season. I can't. I wish Sorsby luck, but it's time to pay the piper. You know what's weird about this for me, just for me personally, to a degree. I think I'm as bothered or maybe more bothered about the 10,000 bets than I am about the $50 bet on his own team when he was a freshman in college. You know, when you tell me thousands and thousands.
Well, that speaks to him really having the problem.
Yeah.
That the other speaks to he broke the golden rule.
He did break the golden rule. Yeah. He did break the golden rule. And regardless of how much was involved,
yep.
He broke the golden rule.
Yeah,
I understand
that factors none with me.
That factors none with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is the end of Dr. Skuvinek's letter, and while it's a great goal, I don't know if this is achievable. Okay. He said, we're committed to doing right by him. I like that. By giving him the support he needs to recover from addiction. Okay, that's all good. And finish his collegiate athletic career. I don't know if that's possible. And then he goes on to say, to conclude, we're also committed to doing right by all of you, to protecting the integrity of the game, to following the rules, and making Texas Tech an institution to remain proud to call home. Well, look, as much as I want to give him a second chance, and as much as I want him to pay the piper, so to speak, and have some consequences for his action, I'm not sure you can do all of that with that statement. Because if you want to follow the rules, then he's not going to play. And not everybody is going to be proud of this decision to back him and support him, not from a personal standpoint, but from an athletic standpoint.
Yeah, support him all day long from the personal standpoint.
Yeah.
And I think that's the right thing to do. I've said that all along since this came about. I thought Texas Tech was doing the right thing, helping him get help, but they were not vocally supporting his desire to play football again. They stayed out of that fray. So what they were doing is, hey, we want to help this kid get right.
Yeah.
Right thing to do. Thought that was terrific. But now you have made it about, and this is where it comes into play, are you really worried for the kid, or are you doing this for yourself? Okay, because you want him to play football. Okay, Brendan Sorsby can have a terrific life the rest of his life if he doesn't play another down of college football. Okay, he has opportunity to still have a great life, better than most, if he doesn't play football next year. You start fighting for his right to play college football in your Texas Tech, and then it starts getting into that gray area. Are you fighting for him, or are you fighting for you?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Right. And
and I don't know how much column B.
Anybody would probably be doing the same exact thing. Fair enough. Doesn't mean I have to like it.
No, I understand that. And look, when you kind of look at this in in the history of time, and whether it's a fair comparison or not, the two that kind of stand out in my mind, in my 65-year-old mind, that were gamblers in sports, and they never recovered. One was Denny McClain, and one was Art Schleister, and they never figured it out. Their life. Now, maybe they didn't get the help that they needed. Maybe they didn't want the help that they needed, even though they said they did. Maybe they didn't put the work and the time in it. All those things. And I'm not saying that Brendan Sorsby is going to be another Arch Leister or Denny McClain. It just speaks to, I think, when you have it at your feet like those two guys did, and they still weren't able to fix it. I think that speaks to how difficult the task is for him, regardless of whether he plays football or not. Regardless. If you're involved in sports betting, you are compromised for the integrity of the game. And then goes on to say NCAA are hypocrites. Okay, well.
I do agree with that last part.
I do.
When you're so in bed with gambling.
Yeah,
you've heard me more than once complain about this whole, coaches gotta let the gamblers know who's healthy on Thursday or not, which I just think is the dumbest thing ever.
Well, and we've now done this. We've been doing this for the NFL for years, and now obviously in the college game as well.
Yeah, it's not for the other team. It's not for your team. It's for the gamblers.
Yeah,
we bend over backwards for them.
Yeah, and so that's kind of where I'm coming from with the NCAA. It's like, okay, you can say everybody's speaking out of, well, not everybody, but that people are speaking out of both sides of their mouth on this deal. Mm-hmm. Well, so is the NCAA, and that's why I think that there should at least be a path for him. It may be a difficult path, and maybe 4 games isn't enough. But I just thought 4 games would be a good number, just from the standpoint that it would at least involve one Big 12 game, and you couldn't get away with saying, well, he's not going to play for the 3 patsies. I mean, we've seen coaches do that forever.
What if he was suspended for the year but retained his eligibility?
It gives him a path back. I mean,
it does. It does. Do you think he would take it?
I think, yeah, I do, because I think at that point in time he would probably still be able to save some of his money. Okay.
Yeah, he also doesn't get the NIL money this year.
Okay.
If he's going to be suspended, it doesn't seem like he would be.
No, but I mean,
NIL money.
But I mean, he's going to be in school. But I think that would be a bitter pill to swallow. But I think he's got to swallow a bitter pill. He's got to suffer some consequences.
I don't think he would accept it.
You think he'd go on to the NFL?
Yes.
See, I don't know that the NFL is going to... I think the NFL is going to be equally, if not more, harsh than the NCAA.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
May the 27th, 2026. And with this day in sports history, here's Jeff McGuire.
So, 1949, the Cleveland Indians had what we would call here a bad start. And as a morning drive, we've had a bad start before, many times. And in the spirit of Bill Veeck, we have also done what they tried to do next.
Create a circus?
No, a second opening day.
Oh, second opening day.
We're going to play the opening again. So, we'll start this over and then try it again.
Gotcha.
No word on how the second opening day went. 1968, National League awards Montreal and San Diego Major League Baseball franchises. I would tell Montreal to stay classy, but they're in Washington, D.C. now. 1987, New York Yankees knuckleballer Phil Niekro is the third pitcher to make his 700th start. Do you think you can name the other two?
The other two.
One's a layup.
Cy Young.
That's the layup.
Okay.
The second one's really good as well, but the first one's the layup.
Is it Gaylord Perry?
It's not Gaylord Perry.
What era?
Ooh.
When did he play most of his years?
70s? Hang on. His career started in 1966 and went all the way to 88.
Was it Burt Blyleven?
It's not Burt Blyleven. It is Don Sutton.
Don Sutton. Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He played it. He played for a lot of teams and made a lot of starts, obviously, and appearances. 2010, junior right-hander Chad Bettis makes a triumphant return,
following a 4-game suspension at Barrett Barnes in the Big 12 Freshman of the Year, blasted a two-run homer, to lead Texas Tech to a 4-2 upset of top-ranked Texas in the Big 12 championships. And in 2015, Golden State Warriors win the NBA Western Conference Finals. Today, guys, is a very, very good day for food.
Oh, okay.
Like, quite possibly one of my top 5.
Is it pepperoni pizza?
No.
Okay.
National Italian Beef Day.
Italian beef.
It's like a French dip, but exponentially better. It is phenomenal.
Jimmy, I don't know that I've ever had a
you're
Italian beef sandwich.
I don't know that I have either.
Basically, you take a row. It's Italian. It's the standard. We have a large chunk of inexpensive meat that you then add spices to, and you slow cook it so that it gets soft and easy to eat. Spread it over a sandwich with cheese, and then you pour the juices, the drippings, the juices, everything else back on the sandwich. He's so good. Highly recommend.
Eat it with a fork and a knife then?
And a bib. Because it's going to get everywhere. It is delicious. Happy birthday going out to Daniel Jones, who's 29. Adam Carolla is 62. And MVPs in the same year and for both first basemen, kind of, Frank Thomas and Jeff Bagwell are 58.
What's the kind of part about?
Frank was more of a DH than a first baseman.
Yeah, he played first. He played first.
He played first like I'm on the end of the bench or on the bottom line. I'm on there, but not really. And on this day, 1941, the British Navy sinks the German battleship Bismark in the North Atlantic near France. On the 24th of May, the British battlecruiser Hood and battleship Prince of Wales intercepted the Bismarck near Iceland. In a ferocious battle, the Hood exploded and sank, and all but 3 of its 1,421 crew members were killed. The Bismarck had escaped, but because it was leaking fuel, it had to flee for occupied France. It was spotted again on the 26th and crippled by British aircraft, by the way, from World War I. And on May 27, 3 British warships descended on the Bismarck, inflicting heavy damage by mid-morning. The pride of the German Navy had become a floating wreck, with numerous fires aboard, unable to steer and with her guns almost useless because she was listing badly to port. Soon the command went out to scuttle the ship, and the Bismarck quickly sank. Of the 2,221 men crew, only 115 survived. And that is This Day in Sports History.
This Day in Sports History. Thank you, Jeff. 6:50 this morning here on the Morning Drive. This caught my eye this morning. I was not a big Braves fan during this era, but I certainly was aware and probably was more in tune with the Cubs than the Braves, because the Braves just kind of had a sarcastic kind of look at things with their play in the 70s and early 80s. They were just so bad. They had 2 big time players. One was Dale Murphy, and the other was Bob Horner. And Bob Horner had played college baseball at Arizona State, and his first professional game was in the major leagues. And Bob Horner died yesterday at the age of 68. And so he was quite the player. He left the Braves after the 86 season, played in Japan, then came back and played in St. Louis, and then retired in 1989. He was also, and I had forgotten, I guess I'd forgotten this or just wasn't aware of this, he was inducted into the inaugural class of the College Baseball Hall of Fame here in Lubbock back in 2006.
Okay.
So was a Golden Spikes Award winner. He was a terrific player at Arizona State, and that's when they had, they still do, but they had great college baseball teams back in the day. Mm-hmm. And still I think known for that. But he was a third baseman, hit .277. He was one of their star players, but for a team that didn't have very many star players.
So Wyatt Langford also did the same thing, where his first professional game was in the big leagues.
Uh-huh.
I think he has since been, because of rehab, had to play minor league games, but others like Pete Incaviglia. Now I almost went Harry Carey and said Pete Incaviglia.
Yeah, right.
Like Harry Carey. Pete Incaviglia never played minor league baseball, and neither did Dave Winfield. Yeah, I don't know if those are the only ones, but those are the ones that I can remember.
Very few, right?
Yeah.
It's a very, very small number. He hit 56 home runs in 1978. So
And for that time, that's a massive number.
Yeah. Let's see here. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Jeff Johnny Horton has a song called "Sink the Bismark." I think we're probably remember that. The NCAA is big-time hypocrites on the gambling issue. Gambling sites made over $1.3 billion from March Madness alone. NCAA is prohibited on receiving funds from that revenue stream. Instead, the NCAA monetizes the gambling industry by selling them internal sports data and licensing its logos through the sites. This is Jeffrey Kessler's battle. He's the attorney for Brendan Sorsby, and he's the one that was leading the charge in the House, name of the athlete, versus the NCAA in a court case that he indeed won. So.
God, none of that makes me change my mind that Brendan Sorsby broke the golden rule and that it should have been allowed for him because the NCAA is doing this. Well, then Sorsby should have been allowed to bet on college football. None of that changes my opinion that he shouldn't be allowed to.
Okay.
Because the NCAA is hypocrites, do you think that means that he should have been allowed to do it?
No, I don't think that he should be allowed to do it. I don't think any of them should be. I guess what I'm looking for is there a path for him to pay his penance and not be banned? That's what I'm looking for, because I think there's far more Brendan Sorsbys out there, and I think when you're allowing other players,
but you think you don't know.
I think, yeah.
You think you don't know, and they haven't been caught. And
they have not been caught. They have not either caught or come forward. And usually it's caught and then you come forward. It's usually kind of how that works.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
7:30, we'll have Jamie's question of the day. We'll have Astros and Rangers tonight, both broadcasts. 6:35 for the Astro broadcast on 100.7 The Score, and 6:30 this evening for the Rangers and the Astros on Double T 97.3. Rangers got the better of it yesterday as they took down the Astros after getting no hit the night before, 10-7. It wasn't necessarily pretty from a pitching standpoint, but it got the job done, at least for the Rangers. I mean, when you score 8 runs in the first inning, that's a good start.
Yeah, you went from being no hit to picking up 5 hits, 3 free passes, and 8 total runs in the very first inning your next time out. So I guess the Bats were frustrated. They wanted to make up for it. But
yes.
On the flip side, you only scored 2 the rest of the game.
Yeah, right. Jack Leiter was able to get through 6 innings, got the win, 4 runs, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, and he gave up a home run. All of his runs were earned. So, that's better for him. The pitching's been a little inconsistent, obviously. So is the hitting. Team's now 25 and 29. Do you think? Because I've heard talk on our air, and I think there was talk during Tech Talk yesterday. Do you think the Rangers will be sellers at some point in time, or do you think they'll look at this and go, well, we've got a chance to make the wild card, and the division's not, certainly somebody's going to win the division. They're not necessarily going to run away with it. At least that's what it looks like at this point. But will they or should they be sellers?
I think if you're in the situation that you're in now, that you're in striking distance for the division, I think you stand pat.
Yeah. Do you think the Astros are in the same? Would you say the Astros are in the same boat?
I would ask you to wait and see what they are at the deadline.
Okay.
To see if they keep playing good ball like they have been of late, or they kind of fall back to where they have been.
But Chuck, you said their season's over already.
Oh, I did. Yeah, right.
I've got it dated in there with their record at the time.
Okay.
And how many games back they were.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, if we're going to remind Chuck of all the things that he says that are wrong,
Just this one.
okay. I mean, it's going to be a
This would be a thick
long
book.
show.
What else are we going to talk about this summer? Other than the Astros, who are going to win the AL West now because Chuck has declared their season dead. I mean, it's either that or Sorsby. I think this is more fun.
Let me ask you this: Do you think the Sorsby situation
See, we could have been talking about Chuck.
is divisive within the fan base enough that it is going to create tension, or do you think that it's a single issue deal that people will be able to agree to disagree, or do you think there's enough people on one side of the aisle? Because it feels like the side of the aisle is he shouldn't play at all for Texas Tech, that he should be banned, or if he's going to play college football, do it somewhere else, don't do it here. And it feels like, just from where I sit in the second chance department, there's plenty of seats available. What are you laughing at?
The second chance department.
Well, I mean, that's the department I'm sitting in. It's like I want there to be a better path for him to come back to than just a court case. I would like the NCAA to come up with a solution and not be forced by a court of law, which I don't. Yes.
Here's the solution.
Okay.
Don't gamble on your sport.
Well,
They came up with
sure.
one.
Oh, hang on.
Boom.
Well, he's suspended.
Right.
Solution.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
You want a solution you like.
You keep putting this on the NCAA, just like his lawyers are doing, like he's a victim.
I don't think he's a victim. I think he did what he did.
Acting like the NCAA has done something wrong.
No, I
did something wrong.
I know that,
not
and
the NCAA.
And I want him to pay a consequence. I just don't want him to be banned for life. I don't think what he did is worthy of being banned for life. And I know I'm in the minority on that. Heavy minority on that. I don't think it's the NCAA's fault. He did what he did. It's his fault. I just think that there's been so many other paths for people to come back that have made
Not from this.
Right, not for this. Not for this. You're exactly right. Not for this. And I think a
And there's a
$50
reason for that.
and I think a $50 bet on your own team is far
Which makes it even more dumb that you made a small bet.
Maybe he didn't have $500.
Come on, Jamie. He was a early college student at that point before NIL. That might have been all he had
You risked everything.
for a $50 bet.
Well, not everything. You risked your college career for a $50 bet.
Yeah.
Can I give Chuck a little bit of credit on something, though? Jamie, you and I have worked with Chuck for a long time. And Chuck has had some ideas that have been out there that he is alone on his windmill, tilting at windmills with.
Yelling at clouds.
And when he does...
Is he in the second chance department?
No. Hang on. When he comes... When we let him know that he's out tilting at windmills, he's like, okay, you're right. I'm probably tilting at wind. He is sticking by his guns on this one. This is not a wishy-washy thing for Chuck. He is in the minority. Chuck is a people pleaser. This is not a normal thing for him.
Wow. I'm sure that was a...
That's not a dig. He's
I'm sure that's a
his job
compliment
is
there.
a people pleaser. He likes to make people happy and make them money and everything else so that he can make money.
I choose joy. That's
So the
sounds-
fact that he has
sounds
dug in
disingenuous is what
his
that
heels
sounds.
on, I respect him a lot for this. I completely disagree with him and think he's crazy, but that doesn't mean I don't respect him.
You're not alone. You're not alone. But to go back to my original, you don't think this is a deep enough issue to be divisive like we've seen in other issues?
I wouldn't. I mean, people are going to have differing opinions. That's fine. I don't think anybody's going to stop rooting for the Red Raiders over it, or
Yeah.
I don't think that anybody's going to swing a pair of binoculars at another Red Raider fan or anything.
Yeah, we don't do that. We're not like Aggies, you know.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it's going to separate our fan base or
Yeah.
make our half our fan base picket or not show up to the games.
Yeah.
I think if
We've
Brandon,
been through that.
I don't know about the picketing part.
Well, maybe not the picketing part, but I mean, we've been through the divisiveness with the whole Leach situation.
Yeah. Well, I think people just like over the course of time, we've all had guys on our teams that we didn't maybe like their personality or what they had done off the field, and you root for the team and you hope somebody else makes the big play so you don't have to celebrate that guy.
Yeah.
And that's what I would guess this fan base would do if Brendan Sorsby was allowed to play for Texas Tech next year. You hope he does well because you want the team to do well, and obviously he's in a position at the quarterback position where you can't root for him to be bad. Because that pretty much means you're rooting against your team.
Yeah.
So,
do you really think that that was his only bet on his team? Look, I'm going to take him when you put something on paper and you sign it and it's going to a court of law. If you haven't come completely clean at that point in time, which I want to believe that he's come completely clean, but I'm gullible in that way, and I've told you that before. Not this person, but I've told you all that before. That I'm gullible to a fault. Somebody tells me something. Chuck, you don't want to open that Pandora's box. Maybe I do. Maybe I do want to open that Pandora's box.
well, I mean, because,
Do you know what Pandora's box is?
Because Chuck likes to live in the second chance department.
I'm in the second chance. I'm in the second chance aisle.
You know what Pandora's box opens, right?
Everything.
The gates to hell.
Yeah. Well,
The end of the world.
I have long.
Let's not open up Pandora's box.
I have long said when my time on this earth is done.
You're going to take us all with you.
No, I mean my spot there in heaven is standing room only. But I feel like that I'll be able to talk my way into a suite or a sideline pass before resurrection. Okay, 7:25 this morning here on the morning drive. Jamie's question of the day is next.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen, with the news that Christian Anderson will not be returning for his junior season for the Red Raiders, I have this question for you today, and I will allow you 2 spots as a number, like first or second, 8th or 9th, okay? Where do you, as you sit today, think the Red Raiders finish in the Big 12 next year?
Oh, we have to choose 8 or 9?
You have to choose 2 spots.
Like
you could pick one or
a little
2.
leeway. Like, hey, I think they'll finish 1st or 2nd. I think they'll finish 12th or 13th.
Oh, now I understand. Sorry. He had to explain it. You really had to explain it to me. I mean, I'm sorry. Now I got it. You were trying to help me and
Quit listening to keywords.
I made it complicated. Man, I wish I knew how good the Big 12 was going to be. I feel like it's.
I'm going to lean toward really good.
Really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say 7th or 8th as we sit here today.
Okay.
As we sit today, with the roster you currently have, 9th or 10th,
Okay.
your big player is going to miss this year.
But if 5 for 5 comes into play, I think he'll play.
That's ranking next year's team.
I think he'll play this year.
Yeah, but he's only going to play 3 or 4 games at the end of the regular season, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if it could end the Big 12 tournament. The NCAA.
Okay, but I mean, where are you going to finish in the Big 12? I mean, if he's not playing in 75, 80% of the games,
that's fair.
That would factor in. I'll take right in the middle of you guys. I'll go 8th or 9th.
Okay.
So you were 7th or 8th. He's 9th or 10th. I'll take 8th or 9th. It feels like you're right now middle of the pack in the Big 12 conference team. Now you get that big man that you're talking about. I could probably bump you to 6 or 7 or 8. But until he's here, I'm where I'm at.
I'm not counting chickens. I'm not counting eggs yet. I'm not even counting chickens who are laying eggs yet.
So, and I've also said I'm also not in panic mode yet. But, I'm just going off of what you have on your roster right now.
I can see panic mode from here, though.
I was going to say, are you close?
I don't really panic that much, or at least I don't think I do.
I think you're genuinely. I think you're pretty level-headed.
I don't like for people to see me sweat.
No, I think that's I think that's admirable. I'd love to sit here and tell you that I ride the roller coaster of life. Highs to highs and lows to lows. I'm guilty as charged of that. So
I may be feeling it on the inside, but I try not to show it on the outside.
You're like a duck, man, on top of the water.
No, I'm not a duck.
You're paddling like hell underneath, and we just don't see you. We don't see you doing that. You don't consider yourself.
I don't want to be a duck.
You're a little duckish.
No.
Yeah. I'm a little duckish.
He wants to be a Red Ryder.
They beat the crap out of us in the Orange Bowl.
No, I understand. I get that. I understand that. Let's see. From Centex Inc. Word of the wise. If Sorsby plays and you're a gambler, make sure you only bet on Tech to win outright. Never bet the spread. Too easy for him to shave points and mess with the point spread or props on performance. Okay, you can say all that, but even the NCAA has said the integrity of the game in terms of his bets was not manipulated by him. So that doesn't necessarily mean that he'll never do that, but you could say that about anybody. But he that's something that he didn't do.
Well, technically, yes, you could say that about anybody, but for somebody to make the comment, it feels more warranted with him.
It does feel warranted.
Than somebody else who hasn't admitted to making thousands of bets.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I also, if he played this year, I wouldn't be worried about that.
Okay.
I would not. I mean, if he played this year and wasn't on his very, 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 very best behavior when it comes to this kind of stuff, I mean, what in the world are we doing? Are we learning any lessons whatsoever?
Let's see. Who cares about his adversaries? He's going to have to justify in the minds of his own team and supporters. That's the bigger concern. Because somebody said for the rest of his playing career, he'll have to justify in the minds of his adversaries if he's throwing a game or shaving points. Okay. Let's see here. Chuck got math. Yeah. Well, I had to take 002 math in my sophomore year of college just to be able to kind of stay in school. So, at least I got an A in it, Mm-hmm. But, admittedly so. Math was not necessarily a strong suit. I don't think I ever took algebra. I think I had to take geometry, one or the other. I know there's a difference, but, anyway, I did. This is not.
Chef is biting his lip over there.
Add and divide and multiply and all that kind of stuff. I'm really good at. Percentages. I'm really good at stuff like that.
I think you're really good at dividing.
I'm pretty good at dividing.
Divide the masses, the people that are for you and people that are against you.
Yeah.
You're a good divider.
Yeah. This, Chuck, I don't know why you want the drama. I want to cut our losses and move forward.
He's a very talented football player. There's no question about that. He makes your team better. I think he gives you a feeling that you have a legitimate chance to do serious damage in the college football playoff. And, whether that would come to fruition or not, I don't know. I also remember how you performed last year in the playoff. But he would give you a better chance, better opportunity, that's for certain.
Yeah.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I think that's good when it feels like it's gone by quickly. We've not labored today. Mm-hmm. Okay, good morning with Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We come to you from the First United Bank studio here in downtown Lubbock. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line, Visual Edge IT hotline. It's open, 806-771-0973 if you want to chime in. Okay, Juan M. is weighed in, and he's one of our usual suspects. Let's see. After listening to you guys and listening to Chuck read the chat line, I have to say I do agree. I hope this young man gets the help he needs to learn to work with his addiction. I agree. I don't think you ever get cured from addiction, but you find ways to work through it. At the same time, I agree. I don't want this young man playing for Texas Tech. I agree with the chat line. I think he has sullied his name, and there's too big a chance of teammates or fans wondering when he overthrows a receiver or when he fumbles, is he doing that for a bet? Juan M. Well, I respect your opinion. I think I don't agree with it. And I hope that just because it's like, okay, I hope that when he does make a mistake on the field of play, and he's put himself in that position. I understand that. But that's probably a fair assumption that people are going to wonder, okay, did you win a bet for that? Did you lose a bet for that? I mean, that's probably a fair assumption.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I think that's not what I was concerned with. Mm-hmm. That doesn't really factor into my feelings that he should not be allowed to play college football, but I'm not going to say that it's not out there, and then I'm not going to act like people who are crazy who do think that way, because it's fair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It just seems to me, I mean, I don't want to be outlining ways to do this, but if quarterback A of any school in the country wanted to do this, he could very easily do it if he had a friend that he was not his roommate, that they were smart. And let's say this guy lived across the country that was making bets and all that. And, they were finding ways to get him the cash. I mean, it seems like it would be easy to do for guys to
work around the whole stuff.
It seems like it would be easy, right? Mm-hmm. Right. If they were trying to shave points here or there or whatever, and so it could be anybody. But again, I choose not to think that that's going on, and I don't think I would worry about that with Sorsby. But again, I understand why people think that way.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's one of those deals. All right, 8:05 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. I bet that is the first time this year Chuck has looked at a Royals box score, much less watched a game. Okay, I did not watch the game last night. I watched a little bit of the Royals in Seattle the other night, but during the day. But then the Indy 500 came on, and I turned it over and watched that. Yeah, it's just they just suck, man. What can I say? It's just hard. Oh well. All right. Rob Rowe did this. Man, he did a deep dive into this. You can go to doubleTSportsNetwork.com and read the full article. But I thought it was interesting. He evaluated the individual programs in the Big 12 based on how they did on the field of play. Okay. So if you won a championship as a team, and there were 16 teams in your particular sport, you got 16 points. Now in baseball, there's not 16 teams, so you got 14 points. Okay, if you, and then you got 3 additional points if you won the postseason tournament. So for Texas Tech, the Red Raiders on the men's side, he had Tech getting second place. When you look at outdoor track, indoor track, tennis, golf, cross country, baseball, football, and men's basketball, scoring 82 points like that. Arizona was first with 87 points. Probably didn't surprise you that Tech was ranked that high.
No.
When you kind of look at what happened on the field of play this year. But it's pretty cool. And when you look at both men and women combined, Texas Tech topped the chart at 177 points, beating out BYU, TCU, Arizona State, Kansas, Iowa State, and Oklahoma State. Those teams made up the top 8. That probably didn't surprise you either, did it?
Seemed like a good group.
Yeah. I mean, and, from, on the women's side, BYU finished in the top spot. I mean, and you have to understand there's some sports in here that Tech doesn't compete in, like swimming and diving, gymnastics, equestrian. You'd think equestrian would be something that maybe would be up our alley since we've got an affinity for horses.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure it's quite expensive to have an equestrian team. I mean, the travel in and of itself would be, I think, very expensive, getting horses from here to there.
I don't know how many equestrian matches do they have.
I don't know, but I mean, Baylor has an equestrian team, Oklahoma State has an equestrian team, and TCU of your conventional Big 12 team.
Doesn't seem like the travel would be that difficult then.
Yeah, put them on the trailer and go. Yeah.
They're somewhat used to it.
Load them up, yeah.
Sure, it's not their favorite thing, but...
Yeah, I mean, they're horses, for God's sake.
Yes, and don't need to violate their rights.
No, not violating anybody's rights. I mean, not sending them out without any water or food or hay or anything. Comes as no surprise to me that Arizona was first in swimming and diving on both on the women's side. On the men's side, they were second to Arizona State. So that's probably not a big surprise there. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. You can go to doubleTSportsNetwork.com and peruse the full article and analyze it for yourself and see what you think.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.